All right, what's up, everyone? I'm here with Friended, and I'm here with everyone's favorite stalker, who everyone seems to love to crucify lately, Crazy Hair. What's up,
Hey,
guys?
Hey, everybody.
Which I'm not kidding. Uh, do I call you Crazy Hair or Naomi?
whatever you feel better with. I like Naomi.
All right, Naomi, you have been crucified through the internet over the past week.
I would not say crucified. I'd say drawn and quartered
Mhm.
because I really feel like I've been put on the noose and allowed to dangle there until I choke a little bit, and then just at the right moment, the hangman has um, cut open my innards and allowed them to spill all over the ground while he holds my heart in his hand and it beats its last beats. That's how I.
Manipulation.
That's
Manipulation.
that's how I feel.
Manipulation. Manipulation. You're going a little crazy here.
I'm tempted
I'm
to
sorry. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
like the last scene.
You are going over the top here, though. Come on. You got some internet drama. It's like
It's
you're
not like
spilling
the internet
scene, like-
drama. The internet drama, honestly, like it's the least of my problems. The true like hurt comes from people like Memory Holiday, who I honestly considered a friend of mine who I've confided in before and contacted when I've had panic attacks and told her about how I'm
Really?
feeling, and she's
Wow.
talked me
Okay.
down from it. And
Yeah.
people like Vernaculus, who I extended like a helping hand to and who didn't stand up for me, and who like instead of saying like, hey, she'd never do shit like this, she was a super nice person the whole like week, instead he's like, oh yeah, she told me that her GoPro was on all night, so she probably filmed me sleeping.
Yeah.
So like that's the more hurtful part, the fact that like Jeff Holiday, who's always like said he's like a big person in like mediating between people and like wanting people to talk and have a conversation, has, instead of like actually mediating and creating a conversation, has like basically stood there and been like, whatever, this girl's an emotionally manipulative bitch, like fuck her.
Mhm.
Yeah. They
Like
do
that
they do feel a little bit manipulated by you, though, because they feel like they got involved in something. Maybe they got over their head. In over their head.
I don't know like what they feel because I'm not in their shoes. But
Mhm.
honestly, like I consider you, Adam, I consider you a
Mhm.
friend.
Yeah.
And if anybody ever came to me with like a video, let's say it was published on your channel, let's say this whole video is just like a smackdown of a video that I made or even my personal opinions. The first thing I do is not turn on my fucking camera and start bitching. The first thing I do is come to you on DMs or
Totally.
on
Totally.
whatever and
Totally.
be like,
Yeah.
hey,
Totally.
Adam, these are my
Totally.
problems with what you did. Like, let's talk about this. So I don't know. Maybe I just hold people to too high of a standard.
I mean, I'd actually like to mention the fact of, I don't know if this is true or if it isn't, but Mem Holiday in her video outright claimed that the reason she didn't come to talk to you was because apparently you had a box cutter and she was afraid for her life.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I saw that, I was absolutely fucking mortified because, and I don't know if you've watched my video, but I did address it specifically in my video that the first person to bring up somebody bringing a weapon on an airplane was Memory. She's the one
I would
who.
say like, that's real shit if she doesn't have proof of that. Because if like someone from like the police saw that, like officers could be showing up at your house.
No. Let me clarify. Memory Holiday was sitting with me the day after, trying to lift my spirits and talk to me about stuff. That is the same kind of
This was the day after
conversation.
the standard thing?
The day after the standard
Because the
thing,
standard thing is kind of where it all blew up, right?
yeah, it all blew up at the standard. Up until the standard, I was having an amazing VidCon. Like, and
Right.
and I thanked people in my video. I was like, thank you for making like the first 4 days of my VidCon experience amazing, because it was amazing.
Yeah.
During that talk that we sat down and we were talking together, She was telling me all these stories, very similar to like the stories that she tells in her like Nomad Diaries or whatever they're called. And she brought up how Jeff's boots have these spikes in them and how they're considered a weapon, so they won't be able to take them on the plane on the way back. They'll have to put them in their checked baggage. And so I was like, yeah, like I went through security at Prince Edward Island, and so that's the Canadian security, and I didn't know that I had a crafting knife in the bottom of my purse. It's this little blue, it looks like a blue pen. It's this little retractable crafting knife. It even like has on it like X-Acto, like the X-Acto like brand. So it's not like a hidden knife or whatever. It's like an actual brand name crafting knife. And after I went through security, I was at the, I was like on the airplane, or maybe I was like waiting to get on the plane in PEI to go to like my connecting flight to the States. And I was organizing my purse and I found it in there thinking like, holy shit, like how did the security guys miss this? And because I'd read, what?
Thank God they did. That could have been a real awkward moment if they find your purse.
Honestly, if they would have pulled out the crafting knife from my purse, I would have been like, hey, I didn't know it was there. And then I would have asked them, because I always ask, because I've always been told throughout my life, like, you should always ask. If the answer is no, then no. But if the answer is no, at least you asked, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've had so many opportunities in my life because of that attitude. Like I got my undergraduate thesis by asking professors if I could be their undergraduate thesis student, even if they've never been taking on undergraduate thesis students. I've got a couple jobs by being like, hey, do you need me to do this for you? So like, I always ask. So if they would have found it in my purse, hypothetically, I would have been like, hey, do you mind if I remove the like blade from it and keep the knife, or do you need to throw out the whole like plastic container? And if they would have said like, we're throwing out the whole thing, I've been like, fine, I'll just order another one from Amazon, like no big deal. But so like I find it in my purse, and I think like back to the articles that I've read about the TSA and how they miss like 80% of everything that goes through the airport, that they fail like tests all the time. And I'm thinking like, this would be like a great like real-time test. Like I'm just going to leave it exactly where it was when I went through my purse, like organizing it. And I'm going to see like if they pick up onto it. And if they don't, like whatever, at least I know like, yeah, they do miss 80% of everything that goes through.
Oh yeah, there was a study done recently where these people literally were sneaking guns through the airport, and they went through several different airports and no one found it. And it wasn't like a pistol. They were sneaking it through like shotguns and AKs and things to take over a plane.
I think we read the same article.
You guys are making our TSA people a little jumpy.
But the thing is, like,
now it's going to be 10 times worse for me when I go to TSA. Come on.
No, you're white. You're fine.
I'm blue. You're giving all my secrets away.
So that is exactly what I had told Memory. Like we were sitting outside just like talking, and I told her about the whole like crafting knife thing and how I wanted to like do this experiment, and I'd gotten through the TSA thing at the Toronto airport and everything was fine. And I was like, what the fuck? Like they just missed a crafting knife. Like if I was like a crazy terrorist, like shit could have happened. And then to see her in that video just talk about it as if I was gonna like take a fucking crafting knife with a retractable blade.
I only watched half the video, so I don't think I got to this part. Yeah.
It was so disappointing to me to see a person that I'd trusted so much with so much personal information just immediately go there.
It's like, how big is a crafting knife? Like how big?
It's a pen. Imagine a pen.
A pen. So
a pen with a little blade on the end that's retractable. So like take a highlighter. It's slightly thinner than a highlighter.
Would you say this is a good size?
Yeah, that's about it. That's a Sharpie. That's perfect. Yeah, that about it.
You could mess someone up with a Craftsman knife, but like something like that. But like you have to want to kill them to do something like that.
It's about 1/2 inch, the crafting knife. It's only like long enough so that you can draw like straight lines using a ruler, and like that's what I use it for.
Yeah, 1/2 inch. That's yeah. You could definitely do a lot of damage with that, though.
I've never thought of that because I've only ever used it for cutting paper.
Yeah. Adam, you've been surprisingly quiet throughout this.
Yeah, Adam.
Yeah, I don't think talking about sneaking stuff onto airplanes is like, I don't understand how that relates. I mean, but I only watched half the video of Mimsy. I saw the video. I think I watched maybe 5 minutes of it. I saw June was in the comments kind of thanking her, I guess, for her, or saying that it wasn't her fault or anything like that. I don't know. This whole thing is kind of strange to me, but
I mean,
I
yeah.
mean,
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
People are, I mean, I am conflicted about this because I saw you there at VidCon. You were working it. I mean, you were definitely, talking to people and interacting with people. And the thing about VidCon is it is a place where you go to kind of work it. So evidently you crossed some invisible line with working it to the point where now everyone has turned what is normal behavior into something like stalkerish, which I didn't see that kind of behavior going on. Granted, I wasn't with you. You were there for a lot longer than me.
Yeah, I landed on Tuesday, and just like I told Agent of Doubt, and Agent of Doubt has put out a couple of really cool videos.
Yeah, I commented on his video.
I haven't seen your comment, but he put out videos about like and he is a trained therapist, so he put out a couple videos about the theory behind groupthink and priming. And,
totally.
And all that.
Well, I got to watch these videos. That's right up my alley.
I'm super like interested in that stuff because it isn't my field. My field is soil sciences. Like I'm a dirt scientist. What the fuck do I know about psychology? And so like it's really interesting to me that like coming from a science background where you go to conferences, you network with people, you give out your card, you talk to them about their research, about their work, they talk to you about your research, about your work. And all of a sudden, like, and now I recognize there's a hierarchy.
But
everybody knows it. Yeah,
but that's not something that I was. It's a number that I'm aware of, but it's not a number that I assign any worth to.
But now I have a quick question.
Well, people do though. You realize that?
Now I realize that.
Yeah.
I still don't agree with it.
Wait, you said you're a soil scientist, but you don't know anything about like psychology? What
right.
If someone has a dirty mind?
You're hilarious. I like this guy. He's cool. my dad joke like tickled my dad joke senses. Now I'm happy.
I imagine a friend is just back there shaking his head.
Of course he is. He thinks he's one of the cool kids. He's too cool to laugh at dad jokes.
Bullshit. Yeah, I am definitely not. You see, the way the hierarchy works, it works by sub count, and I know what my sub count is. I'm not one of the cool kids. Okay.
I honestly don't know what my sub count is because I haven't I've turned off all the notifications from YouTube.
It's 3,000 checked.
Thanks. My boyfriend also gives me updates. Like when I passed 1,000, when I passed 2,000, whenever I passed like another 100, he'd be like, "Oh, you have this many sub counts," and I'd be like, "I don't care." Like. I'm still making only content for me. Like, thanks though.
Well, there's that. That's actually kind of endearing to hear because one of the theories that's going around that I wanted to ask you about was, what if you kind of did all this knowing that people would think you were a little crazy, and then you've caused all this drama, and then everyone would come sub to you, and then a year everyone would forget, but you'd still have all these subscribers.
Your theory, like I'm taking it in and I'm thinking like it's very sad for people who do that. But no, I know. The theory that you just presented, The thing is about me and anybody who had actually spent any kind of time with me at VidCon, or people who know me IRL would know that the thing that I love most is conversation about actual topics. I fucking hate small talk. I hate talking about going to the mall. I hate talking about like brand names. I fucking hate all of that shit. But get me into talking about like the philosophical behind different political ideas or the different approaches to different subject matters, and I will go on about that with you the whole night. Like we will go back and forth about this topic and that topic, and we'll get lost like on two side streets. And if a person isn't capable of that, I honestly don't really want them around me. Like, yeah, I can be nice to my boyfriend's coworkers' dumb girlfriends. Like, I can be nice to them. I can like ask them about their silly hobbies and shit. But when it comes to conversation that I want to have, like with people that I want in my internet circle, I want real conversation. Let's talk about Jeremy Corbyn and what he stands for. Let's talk about Theresa May and her faults. Let's talk about Donald Trump and why he's beloved by the American people. Like, let's talk about that.
That's just the Donald Trump thing is a stream for another day.
Yeah.
But if you want to get real, I have a real question for you, because something happened on the Blair White stream, and it gave me chills when she asked you, "Are you going to delete the tapes?" and you just didn't give an answer.
I hadn't decided at that time whether I was going to delete them or not, and I honestly didn't feel comfortable lying and saying that I would, just to please them. And I didn't feel comfortable saying no because I hadn't decided if I had or hadn't. I wasn't or was not going to do it. But I can tell you now that I've had time to think about it, I'm not going to delete them.
Okay.
Not them, the one recording that I have, because I never recorded anyone sleeping. I didn't record the Franny thing. I didn't record anything except that one thing behind the door, and I'm not going to delete their voices on the tape because, one, it gives them the position to say, hey, obviously you're crazy, nothing ever happened, because I no longer have proof of them talking about, I don't want to say tripping out because they use the word vibe on the tapes. And
Matt said you can't hear anything on the tape.
Well, I cleaned it up pretty hard through Premiere Pro, and yes, you can hear things on the tape.
Oh, really? Wow. You can't do anything with that though, because they just slap a lawsuit on.
But it's for
me. It really is
and,
illegal.
But that's the second thing. It's for me. It's for me to be like, you know what? Like, I did not overreact. All the mean, evil, cruel things that they said about me happened.
But this is the thing that I don't understand. Like, people say mean, cruel things about us all the time. Who cares? That's their right to say mean, cruel things. Like,
yeah,
what difference does it make?
It is their right. But what wasn't their right was to take their actions and turn them around as if I was in the wrong for them saying those things. Like, I woke up the next day.
They weren't in the wrong for saying those things though. They have every right to say those things. I mean, that's right. I think where you're on your weakest ground is with that whole argument that they shouldn't have said those things. And I think the people that made a big deal about them saying those things, I think those people regretted it. I think they probably had too much to drink, and they got involved and realized in the end that it wasn't their place to get involved, because we all have a right to say nasty things about people we don't like.
And you have the right to open carry in an open carry state, but should you?
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah. This is America.
Okay. Maybe I'm talking to Americans, so I don't really like. Just because you have the right to do something, just because you have the right to do something, doesn't mean that you should do that thing.
I lived in New Orleans where we had drive-through daiquiris. God bless the drive-through daiquiri.
I come from a place, and maybe it's not so much a place. Like, I come from this this mental place where we should all treat other people in the way that we want to be treated.
Yeah, but that's your feeling, and I don't understand how you don't understand your feeling.
I understand that now. I understand that now. It's just I expect from other people, especially people that, and I now understand that it's a wrong thing to think.
Yeah, you can't expect anything of any of these people. I never expected anything of them.
Expecting basic respect or basic like niceness, I guess, basic like
you can't expect that though, and I don't understand how you can engage on YouTube and just not understand that, because you see that shit in your comment section all the time. Or maybe
now I do. Adam,
maybe you did get the female privilege and you weren't getting beat up, man. My commenters beat me up right and left.
Adam,
man.
You have to understand, we come from
doxed me the other day.
We come from two completely different worlds, you and me. Like
You're in Canada. I'm in the drive-through daiquiris.
I come from small town Canada. Like 130,000 people live in this entire quote unquote state. Like 30,000 people live in my quote unquote town city type thing.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's a little culture clash then.
I live in a small place where you walk by somebody, you make eye contact with them, and you wish them a good day and ask them how they're doing. Like,
I live in a place like that too. I live in a small town in Georgia. That being said, if I walked by someone and they were like, and I was like, "Hey, how are you doing? How's your day going?" He was like, "Go to hell. I don't want to talk." I wouldn't have expected him to be nice to me.
But here you say like, "Hey, how's it going?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's good. How are you?" And you're like, "Yeah, it's great. Bye, have a good day."
That's not how the world works.
I understand that now, but like I've lived here for like all this time, and to me, that just seems like the way that people treat each other with like a basic level of respect.
You know how we do it in LA? It's
How?
like, what the fuck are you looking at, motherfucker? Seriously. When someone looks at me funny, I'm like, fucking, what are you looking at?
I do that too. I'm not gonna lie.
That's like normal human nature.
I actually did that to someone the other day. I had Tourette's, or it wasn't the other day. It was a few. I had Tourette's posting in public, and someone was just staring at me. I looked her dead in the face. I went, "What are you looking at?"
Like, but it is. I did see one nice comment from Chris Reagan saying that maybe this all is just a misunderstanding, which is the direction that I was going. I thought this is all just a misunderstanding. So
it's like I reached out to June, I reached out to Blair, and I reached out to Chris and Andy. I'm like, "Hey, do you guys want to come on and let's?"
Oh yeah, right. That's never gonna happen.
No, it's never gonna happen, guys.
Thank you for knowing that, Naomi. Did I?
Not even did it not happen. All of them turned it down. Blair and the other guys didn't respond.
I'm surprised that they responded.
Hold on. Did they respond or did they not respond?
No, Blair responded. She said, "I'm not."
Blair did respond. Good on her. Yeah.
She said, "I'm not coming on," and no one else would even reply. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say maybe they didn't see it. They are busy people, but still, no one wanted to come on.
And that's okay.
Yeah,
like I'm totally.
They don't want to do anything. They were mad that you even uploaded a video. So
yeah. Oh yeah. They were so mad. And like, I understand. Like Chris Worski did tell me to just like lay low and let it blow over. And I'm sorry, that wasn't going to happen with all of the false accusation being flung my way. Like it would be one thing if those guys that were in the hotel room would have said something like, "Oh, she's a crazy stalker.
You wouldn't have gotten the false. You wouldn't have gotten the false accusations though if you would have just laid low. To be honest with you,
that's not true. That's not true.
No, you only got the false accusations after you uploaded a video.
That's not true.
You uploaded a video and they respond. Well, how did you get? They weren't communicating with you, but they weren't making false accusation.
No, they weren't, but they were talking. Andy did say that they were talking to each other on Saturday about all this crazy shit that I did, like record him and Francesca and stalk him. And Memory Holiday was uploading that video saying like, "Oh, she asked for our hotel location and then she like sat at the Starbucks waiting for one of us to show up." Yeah. And I'm like, what the actual fuck? Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like
I wasn't there for any of that stuff. It seems the miscommunication that I could see, you had said on the stream that you went from room to room and saw them in there. I personally witnessed you go from table to table to table when we were at that taco joint talking to people that had been at VidCon and sharing your cards with them. So it seems completely plausible to me that you were working it with those cards. So that's like I don't buy into the whole you hacked into the matrix and figured out where the room was. And
well, you know what?
all that
They
seems
did
ridiculous to me.
in high school, they did nickname me Neo. So maybe I am a crazy hacker.
I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone in that direction either. But okay,
Well,
so you're saying
you know
that
what?
you did hack in, or
you know what? Maybe I do have these crazy hacker skills. I mean, I am dating a
did you
computer
hack in or not?
scientist.
I'm saying that you didn't, but now you're making me
I'm like
question that.
Donald Trump. I didn't hack into it, even though I have these amazing hacking skills.
I
Yeah.
have the
Why
best
people think
hacking
I'm connected
skills.
to Russia? I don't know anyone from Russia, but I have a house in Moscow. It's the best house.
Wait, is there a way for me to share my screen here right now?
Should be.
I don't know.
Let me see.
I do have a question. About what
here
do
we
you
go.
plan to do with this recording of Blair?
Pardon?
You just want to. What do you plan to do with this recording? Do you just plan to keep it for yourself?
I plan to keep it in case anybody says that like nothing ever happened.
Well, is that even if someone says nothing ever happened, you can't do anything with that tape.
Saying can't means that I physically am quadriplegic and unable to do literally anything.
You can't. If you released it, Blair White stated she would sue you.
And,
yeah, I've dealt with stuff like this before too. You will get sued.
And you know what? I am under the right circumstances. I am willing to take that risk under the right circumstances.
What's with the dog? With the dog,
pardon?
but why?
Oh, I'm sharing my screen because I'm about to share some things with you, but I don't want it to be like my main screen. I'm just gonna pull the things over that need to be pulled.
I get you.
Like, I don't want you to see like my file names and my like.
God.
So, for example, you probably don't want to see this funny picture that I was sharing with people.
What the hell is that?
That's Steve Shives on a hookup website.
No. What? I can't see it. All I see is a.
All I see is a patch of hair.
What? What do you mean?
Yeah. All I see is a patch of hair at the very bottom of the screen.
That's a guy that looks like Steve Shives, but I don't know that it's Steve Shives.
Oh no, that's definitely Steve Shives on a hookup website.
What's the website name?
I don't remember. I just remember it was being floated around.
That's like
at VidCon?
No, this is like ages ago. This is before he got married and everything.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, okay. So this is my login from Dr. Random McCam's computer. Remember, Adam, you were there when I was trying to upload the Anita Sarkeesian thing to it.
I'm still trying to get over the wanting to throw up in my mouth over that Steve Shives picture.
Oh, don't worry. You no longer have to think about it. But like you can see here that like I was logged into my account on Safari on his Mac at 8:56 p.m. And then here is my login to what I know now is Andy Worski's computer. Well, I thought it was Chris Worski's computer at 4:07 p.m. I'm logged into my own account. Like that's just the fact of the matter. And if he wants to prove it to himself, he can go on to his.
I don't know that people are disputing this stuff, to be honest.
Oh no, they are. They're saying that I'm a crazy master hacker, man.
I was sitting right next to you when you were logged into Dr. Anna McCann's computer. I was talking to Dr. Anna McCann for a long time. Yeah. No.
And like I got all of the different panels that I attended to show like where I was at what time I was like at places, and it's just Like people want to accuse me of all kinds of shit.
I can't get over the fact that Andy is apparently this guy that's super paranoid about all his stuff being used, but still said that you could use his computer. If he was this paranoid, why wouldn't he have just said no from the get-go?
Chris Worski brought me the computer. Andy was there watching me while I was on the computer. I never knew it was Andy's computer. I thought it was Chris Worski's.
Oh, okay.
I only found out that it was Chris Worski's computer like after this whole thing like blew up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's brave of you to go. I would have never gone up to the room. I never would have like sat in on the Francesca meeting. I mean, I talked to you after that Francesca meeting. I remember you telling me Andy's upstairs with Francesca, but I think they had already tweeted that picture out. And I was just assuming that you had seen the picture on Twitter because everyone there was looking at their Twitter.
I wasn't.
Again and again. But
again,
I couldn't get upstairs because I didn't have a creator badge. And I noticed Worski was upstairs with a creator badge. I was thinking, how did he get up there?
You mean he was up there without a creator badge?
Or yeah, no, he had a community badge. That's what I mean.
Oh,
yeah. You got
probably
it right.
Because I don't know what kind of badge he has. I honestly don't remember, but
It was
probably
a community
because
badge. I saw it in the photo.
Probably because Francesca came downstairs to get him.
Got him, yeah, and escorted him up. Yeah, I watched some other YouTubers, and they were talking about how if you don't have a creator badge, like really all the creators hang out upstairs. Because you had messaged me and you asked me if I could come upstairs, and I said no, I can't. I don't have a. Or you asked me if I had a creator badge so I could get upstairs, and I said no, I have a community badge. But I would have got a creator badge, but they were sold out.
Yeah, the creator badges sell out first.
Yeah. So Andy probably got a community badge for the same reason. I don't know. I only talked to Andy once.
And this is another thing that like I wanted to share during the stream. That's why I'm in this folder full of like my screen caps. Like here's a screen cap of when I purchased my badge, and you can see that I purchased it in January. And all of these like YouTubers are saying shit like, oh yeah, she only came to VidCon to meet us. She only came to like VidCon to stalk us. I want to see one of them, just one, produce a screen cap of them purchasing their VidCon tickets before me. Just one. Because I purchased my VidCon tickets in order to go sit in on the regressive panels and for no other reason. The fact that the rest of them came along afterwards is a completely like extra for me.
Yeah, none of these people had like started setting plans to go to VidCon until April.
And look, here's proof. January. It's got my name on it. Like, of course, I'm not going to show my order confirmation, but like I want to see one. Just that's all I need. I just need one of them to say like, look, you followed us to VidCon. I purchased mine before yours.
Jeff Holiday, January 28th. Damn it.
I wasn't ever planning on going, so it just went like last minute.
And I'm glad that you came because I'm happy that I met you.
Yeah, no, it was fun.
And sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to go. I was too sick to travel.
And Dave was also really sick, but he still came along. Like he was barely holding up, and his like Irish sensibilities caused him to like drink constantly, so that didn't help.
All right.
And another thing that I'm being accused of, which I'm absolutely like disgusted by, are the people like I'm going to use the quote unquote smaller YouTubers that are accusing me of like stealing their shirt money. Here's a screen grab of my PayPal, and I've blocked out their names because some of them are like some of them use their personal PayPal, and I don't think that they want their names out there. But like here's all of them and like the refunds that were issued to them. So I'm like, why are you guys accusing me of stealing money, buying VidCon tickets just to stalk you, going on your computer in order to hack your like DMs, like.
Well, I think the whole thing has become kind of a play of these people some of these guys want to be famous, and you can't really be famous till you've had a stalker. Isn't that something similar to what you said, Adam, last night?
I don't remember that.
A lot of people have brought that up.
No, I think no. It might have been someone said that to me. I can't remember who it was. That's why I was asking if it was you. I wasn't like saying you said that.
I was looking for that picture of Andy Worski with Francesca, but I can't find it. I swear he was wearing a community badge in that, but maybe.
Even
like
if you look at the picture, look at the picture that I have up on the screen right now, you can see that his badge is red, and red was the community color.
Yeah, totally.
Purple was the creator color.
There was definitely a hierarchy going on with the badges. You can see the tip of Francesca's, and she has the coveted like yellow badge that allows you to go anywhere you want. Yeah. I watched some other non-skeptic genre people's videos about VidCon. And they were talking about being upstairs as a place to be and not being able to go up there. So, but I never went up there.
I went upstairs. I went downstairs. I went upstairs for oh yeah, there's the video. There's the picture.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, like I went upstairs for the panels, and then I came back downstairs because I felt bad for, like, when Vernaculus messaged me being like, hey, where are you? I'd be like, oh, he only has a community badge. I better go downstairs.
Right.
Like with the creator badges, those were the $200 ones, right?
When I bought mine, they were $150.
Okay. So those are the ones people buy because all of those guys meet. If you're a community badge, that essentially just gets you in the door. But the creators have access to like a special lounge and everything. Is that right?
I never went to the lounge, like to sit down and stuff. But you're
giving out free Red Bull.
I don't drink Red Bull, but
I found that out. And it should have gone.
I saw that so there was an Adobe station downstairs, like in the first level, where they were just like doing things to promote Adobe. But on the second level, you could actually go and talk to like Premiere Pro experts about different things that you wanted to do with Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
As a creator, which was pretty cool. If I was going to go next year, which I'm not going because this was way too much bullshit to deal with. If I was going to go, I was about to purchase the industry badge just because the panels in the industry looked really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. If your channel blew up, that you'd go. I mean, why wouldn't you?
That's I wouldn't
let
keep me from.
If your channel blew up, you would go.
Even if my channel blew up, I won't go. Like this kind of emotional abuse, like it's really, really hurt me.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta ask some of the abusive things that have been said.
I've had a lot of people tell me to kill myself, delete myself.
The internet.
To institutionalize myself.
That mean
to seek like professional help, to get on meds, to stop stalking people.
Well, you should get on meds just for the hell of it. I'm just being honest.
I would say, I'm on
antidepressants, so like technically I've already like seen somebody and gotten those.
Oh, okay.
But honestly, like it's just not worth it to go because the reason to go to conferences is to network, and I'm not going to network with social justice warriors.
I can't. I just noticed on Andy Worski's header, someone photoshopped Anita Sarkeesian into the keck picture.
Wait, what? What?
It's awesome. Yeah, I was like, you wouldn't notice it if you weren't looking for it.
I was looking at Chris's like distorted face. Hang on a second. Let me.
It's pretty funny.
Isn't everyone? All right. Look at Chris's face for starters. How distorted it is, but where's the Anita Sarkeesian Photoshop?
Yeah, there is no Anita photoshopped.
I'm looking at Andy Warski's header on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, this seems like a done deal. Are you over it now, or?
What do you mean?
I mean, it's pretty much over, I think. I don't think people are going to make any more videos on it. I haven't looked at a lot of the videos. You've probably seen a bunch of them.
I actually haven't. The only part of the live stream with Blair that I watched was the part that I was on.
Right.
Because I wasn't sticking around for the bullshit afterwards. And the only part of the Skeptic Fence show that I watched was the part that I was on, plus the like 20 minutes that came after with
what's the Skeptic Fence? I didn't even see that.
It's a show by Joe, Live Life.
Okay. Is that the 12-hour stream?
Yeah, it's the 12-hour stream, and I guess I didn't know this, but
12-hour stream didn't have an extra.
I don't blame you.
Lying around, so
I hopped in about 4 hours in, I think, if I remember correctly, and I didn't watch the first 4 hours.
Who makes a 12-hour stream?
I don't know, bro.
It's a crime against humanity.
It really is.
Doing something for charity. Seriously.
Movies are like Transformers is only 2 hours long.
I'm gonna run to pee. I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were doing that. I thought we did pee breaks ahead of time.
I did.
All right. While she's gone, anyone in the chat have questions? I know Luke is saying some stuff. Yeah, 12-hour stream. And yes, if nothing else, you should see a doctor and get a real understanding of life. Luke Robbins says, liar. I wish you, Luke, tell me. What do you think she's lying about? Transformers is a crime against humanity. I agree with that, Craig.
I didn't see that. Like Robinson, so butthurt. No, she understands small town people.
What were you saying about my nonchalant Vasivius? I think it is. God, I am so dyslexic. How old is she? Naomi, I think you're probably in your 20s, right?
I'm turning 30 this year.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I'm an old lady.
It's a little strange that you at 30 don't understand that people are mean.
Because honestly, every time anybody has been mean to me, I've been like, okay, you know what? Maybe they're just an asshole. And maybe I'm just one of those people that has a positive outlook on people and wants to believe the best of them.
Well, and
that makes me an idiot. Yeah, I know you're not the first one to tell me that that's where my problem is, but
I thought
rather
you kind of held your own on the stream, but I felt like you made not deleting the thing at the end, I think made you look bad just because
I'm not going to delete the thing. I'm not going to delete it because it's the only thing I have to prove to myself that I'm not crazy. Like that I heard what I heard.
But you don't have to prove to yourself you're not crazy.
I do because
talk about some of those meds you're on. That might be
I'm on Wellbutrin and Cipralex. They're both serotonin reuptake inhibitors. That's it. They just prevent me from falling into a pit of depression.
Oh, I was kidding.
Oh, there. But now you have an answer.
Vesuvius is saying that I'm being too chill about this. I don't understand why. I don't like why. What's there to get stressed about? I mean, internet drama happens all the time.
Although I gotta ask you one thing, Naomi.
Yeah, go for it.
What was with the comment on Blair's stream when they're like, when June said it was a couples party, that's just what we were doing, and you said, in my reality, there's no such thing as a couples party?
Because where I
you're
come
30
from,
years old and you've never been to a couples party? Come on, that's a
I've
little
never
strange.
been to a couples party. I've never been to a couples party because where I like I've lived in Toronto, and I've lived in Turkey, I've lived in Greece, I've lived in England and Cyprus, like I've lived in Israel, and at no point has there ever been like only people who have somebody in their life that they're fucking are allowed to come to this party. It's always been like if you're friends with us or you're friends with our friends, like you can come in, you can bring booze, you can talk, you can chill. So it's just been like a very like
They
open
were pretty
situation.
explicit about the situation, though, that they
But they
all of them
weren't.
all of them
But they
assumed
weren't.
all of them assumed that you were good friends with someone else that was there. Once they figured out that none of them were really good friends with you, they said
I didn't know that at the time. I only knew that later, much later, like days later.
Although, now I gotta say one thing.
Yeah.
For, like all the shit you've been talking on like the left, apparently you've lived your entire life in a safe space.
No shit.
Everyone's so lovely. Yeah. Everyone's nice. Come hang out.
Well, not everybody's nice. There are assholes in the world, and people have broken my heart before, but I refuse to become this callous human being that thinks that everybody is evil just because I've had my heart broken a bunch of times, you know?
Well, I don't think everyone is evil, but I also don't expect everyone is good. I go in with like a neutral opinion on everyone until they give me a reason to think they're a good or a bad person.
And that's where we're different. I go in thinking everybody has the best intent until they prove me wrong.
Okay. My whole thing is I don't really think intent matters here. I just think it was you. You got the room number from Vernaculus, right? You said that on the stream. That's what I would have assumed because I
went up to him. He knew that I had gifts for them because I had actually talked to him about the gifts.
Right.
And I was like,
and he probably feels terrible that he gave you the room number.
He also probably feels terrible for not like being like, hey, she's not a crazy person, because he doesn't want to stand up to these people.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
No,
yeah.
I believe from the person, because I hung out with him the whole week. Like from the person that I saw, I honestly think that like in all of this, he feels a little bit bad being like, oh, I couldn't stand up for her because my friends, like I have to stick to like this or I'm gonna get like flack for it, and that's okay. Like I'm totally okay with him being like that. I mean, I understand. I don't agree, but I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but like
he's caught in the middle. He's caught. This is like high school 101. That's why
really
it's
shitty for him
that you haven't navigated these waters before.
I want to believe in the best in people. I do. I want to believe that people have the best of intentions, and
that's kind of immaterial, though. It really is.
It's a noble pursuit, but it's very unrealistic.
You can call it unrealistic. I want to call it giving humanity a good base, like believing that humanity starts in the middle instead of putting my hand down at the bottom and saying this is where it is.
Vesuvius says something interesting in the chat. He's saying that Vernaculus doesn't really want to get involved in petty drama, which I can see because that really cuts against his brand. Vernaculus is trying to run a channel that's serious, so he doesn't want to.
But on the other hand, he is the one who was like, "Oh yeah, she left her GoPro on recording all night," as if to like contribute to the bullshit.
You did admit.
And I still admit,
said
like
something weird about
it did stay on.
Why wouldn't you just delete the file instead of saying something weird like that?
Of
like
course,
that just seems weird.
Of course I deleted it. The second I noticed it was there, I deleted it. And that day we went out with Sargon and Dave Cullen, and we sat at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. Like Justin was there, and I was like, hey, like Dave, can you take a look at this GoPro knockoff?
I know.
Like, and the fact that like Justin took like, I think that was like the Wednesday, and Justin
Yeah.
took until like the Friday when everything exploded to be like, this is an issue for me. That doesn't
Yeah.
really add up for me. Like,
No,
it's
I
more like
understand it.
a,
I understand it from both perspectives, but there is a little bit. Have you ever read the book The Stranger by Albert Camus? This, like,
no.
people go back in that book. He's doing all of these little things that are completely inconsequential, but then he's convicted for murder, and they're bringing up all of these things that were totally inconsequential at the time, but then these are facts in the case against him all of a sudden. And I feel that kind of is unfolding here a little bit. Like, even if my camera accidentally recorded somebody while they were sleeping, I would not say, oh, my camera accidentally recorded you while you were sleeping. I would just
No. I didn't say that. I didn't say, oh, haha, my camera recorded you while it was sleeping. I went, fuck, like, my camera was recording the whole night we were sleeping. Like, him and me in the same room.
Where was it? Was it pointed at the bed? Was it?
It was not pointed at the bed. It was probably pointed at the ceiling because.
All right.
Okay.
What?
Naomi.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going on?
Nuggets in the chat just pointed something out to me. You said you found it out and deleted it a few minutes ago, but on Blair's stream, you said you had still hadn't deleted the video yet and that you needed to.
No, the stuff with Vernaculus, I was sitting at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf asking Dave to like figure out how to delete this footage. And it has been deleted. Like, it's gone. I wiped that memory card.
What was the footage?
Gone.
The footage was.
It was. I didn't watch it. I was just like, oh, it recorded all night. Whatever. Like, delete this shit. I need space on this memory card.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
One thing, really quick. Someone reached out to me. A guy by the name of the homeless YouTuber.
Yeah.
His cousin's friend is trying to raise money because he has a very bad, I believe, lung disease, and he's only 2 years old, and he's dealing with this. It makes it very difficult for him to breathe. His heart's not working properly.
Whoa, where are we going with this?
Yeah,
I want to find out if the night vision was on the camera.
I wanted to say they're trying to raise the money, and if you want to donate, I'm going to put a link in the description to the GoFundMe.
That's really sweet of you.
But yes, please continue the conversation. I'm interested.
I'm sorry.
The GoPro knockoff does not have night vision.
Oh,
if it does have night vision, it was pointed at the ceiling because I was resting it like flat so it didn't fall over or anything.
Did Vernaculus see the camera pointed at the ceiling?
I don't know. It was chilling where I was charging all of my shit. So
we're not going to get. None of this is really. This isn't going to go anywhere. Just because nobody remembers any of this stuff.
It's not like because it was completely benign.
You should release the video.
It honestly doesn't matter.
Andy Warhol did a art film called Sleep, where a guy sleeps for like 12 hours.
That is so fucking sad. Honestly, that's so fucking sad.
This could be high art. This could be hilarious.
Where?
Do you have eyes on the chat, Naomi?
I am looking at the chat, and the man who is probably related to me thinks I'm lying, which is cool. Like, he can think whatever he wants. This is the camera that I bought. Like, I'm sharing it on screen right now. I don't know why it's not changing, but
I can't tell if Luke is trolling us or if he's being serious. So
I don't know, but like, this is exactly the camera that I bought. I just opened my previous orders. It's just a shitty GoPro knockoff.
Right.
That does like basic GoPro knockoff stuff. It says currently unavailable, but I bought it for like $60-something. Pardon me. No, Luke, you have my last name. So I'm like, lol, you're related to me because I'm from England and my last name is Robbins, LOL.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. She's like, liar.
That's cool. People can think, honestly, people are allowed to think whatever they want. People are allowed to come to whatever conclusions they want.
Yeah.
I've put my like statement out there. It is 50 fucking minutes long. If you only want to look at like the crazy accusations, then you can start at like 30 something minutes and just go through the 14 crazy accusations that they've put my way. But like people are allowed to make the decisions that they want, and in this community of skeptics, TM, quote unquote, like people should come to the conclusions that they come to based on the evidence that's in front of them. I just expected that kind of skeptical thinking from the people involved in the situation.
I think what hurt you in the live stream with Blair and company was that you were dancing around the issue and not just answering things straight away.
People can say that I'm dancing around the issue, but I just like, that's just my pattern of talking. Like I have
I sense that. I think it hurts you though. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
That's
fine.
Is
what it
like,
is.
That is fine. I hate that is what it is, but it's fine. Like people can think whatever they want to think. No, I just hate that saying. Like in general, it's like one of my big pet peeves.
My vernaculus, my only conclusion, or
Vesuvius.
My only conclusion.
Do you know Vesuvius?
Can be drugs. I do not. Should I?
Okay.
So like people can come to whatever conclusions that they want. I just know I have the recording. I've listened to the recording. I've cleaned up the recording. I know what's on the recording.
That's so bad. I can't believe you're saying this.
No, I'm
terrible.
happy I have it.
Why are you? Yeah.
Like,
it sounds terrible though. You've gone to all this time to clean up the recording and.
Yes, because I wanted to see if I was crazy.
I still can't.
It's the equivalent, but it sounds a little crazy. I mean,
and that's fine. Like I wanted to know that I wasn't like imagining the shit that I was imagining. Like,
but even if they said that dumb bitch should fucking fuck off and die, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. The worst thing that you can think of that they could have said is not wrong. It doesn't matter. Totally doesn't matter.
I understand. I completely respect the fact that you feel that way. But to me,
but everyone feels that way. And even
if every single person feels that way, and they don't, because there have been countless people in my Twitter like DMs that have.
I take it back. I take it back. Your people who are on your side will definitely not feel that way. I'm sure your mom or your brother or whatever feels terrible that they said these things about you. But I'm
not in contact with my mom, but I am in contact with my brother.
Okay.
But
I didn't even know if you had a brother. But
the thing is that I'm really glad that I do have the recording, because when they were yelling all of that stuff at me, saying like I was like crazy and this, like they never said that shit, I went on and I listened to it and I'm like, well, they did say that, and I'm happy I have that, because now I know, like, I didn't imagine it, I didn't picture it, it happened.
Right.
All right, you recorded the jokes of 6 drunk human beings from behind a door. How does that really give you comfort? Because
you can say that it was jokes,
and they were kind of, the way they handled it, especially live, was kind of a dickish way to handle it. If I found out I was being recorded and I was in a position where I was saying things that I didn't want recorded, I'd fly off the handle too.
You can look at it that way, and that's fine that they look at it that way. The thing is that I don't regret taking that recording, because even when I went downstairs, there were people asking me for proof. And when I gave it to them, they said shit like, and when I say they, I mean like Mundane Matt specifically said like, this behavior doesn't surprise me from them. And then him and Sargon went off to talk about that behavior not surprising them. And that's
personal stuff. I don't know why you're sharing that stuff now. I mean, this was a private conversation that you had.
I shared it before.
Well, you're kind of throwing Mundane Matt under the bus by even talking about
Not really. I'm only, and honestly, like, just like I'm not going to share what Barbara said, The only reason that I'm sharing what Matt said is because he went on the Skeptic Fence show and started like screaming, liar, liar, pants on fire, you came to me first. And it's like, it doesn't matter who came to who first. I know you came to me first because you love to seek out drama. But you came to me first and you asked for you asked for proof, and I gave it to you.
Conversation with?
The Skeptic Fence show, Joe, Live Life.
Okay. He wasn't there though, right? He wasn't there.
No, he wasn't there. But
Yeah.
he gave me the impression that he just wanted to ask me a bunch of questions, and then he was like, oh yeah, we're gonna bring Andy and Matt on here, and I'm like, no, I'm not sticking around to get dogpiled again, thanks, bye.
Did Andy and Matt, this is a 12-hour stream?
Yeah, this 12-hour stream, yeah.
And Andy and Matt went on there?
I think so, yeah, because I did stick around.
Somebody cut this stream up for me so I can watch the good parts.
No, dude, don't be a dick. Just watch the whole 12 hours.
No, bullshit. I will not. This does not interest me enough to do 12 hours.
So I will watch a 12-hour stream, but it will be watched over the course of a month in small broken pieces.
Oh, come on. You can do it. I watched the 24-hour Drunken Peasants podcast. You can do 12 hours.
I will watch the 24-hour Drunken Peasants podcast over the course of a month. Drunken up. It's not like it's The Godfather's Part 1 to 3, which is 12 hours of solid gold, and I will happily watch. Make a 12-hour stream.
What's next on all this?
Yeah, so what is next for you? Like, what are your plans for the future?
Nothing. I already have 2 videos in the making that have nothing to do with any of this because I produce content for myself. And if other people want to watch it, they can. And if they don't, then they don't. Like, I honestly don't give a shit about my sub count.
If your channel blows up, though, I want to make a bet with someone that you actually go to VidCon. Because you would want to go to, if you're a normal human being, you would want to go to VidCon and say, I told you so. Look, I'm bigger than all you guys now.
Listen, honestly,
go to hell.
Honestly, I'm being 100% honest here.
No, nobody, this is the one part that I believe least of all, but go ahead.
Okay. I don't care how big my channel gets, if it ever
Luke, right? Liar.
I don't fucking care because
then why did you go to VidCon and work it so hard? It doesn't make sense.
I went to VidCon.
It makes no sense. You did a bunch of cards. You were handing out cards to everyone. I saw you talking to everyone. It makes no sense.
Do you know what the card said? Like, I gave you a card. Didn't I give you a card?
Yeah. But the whole idea was
the card itself says, uh-oh, your privilege is showing. And on the back it says, you've received this card because your privilege just allowed you to make a comment that others cannot agree with or relate to. This entire card so far is plagiarized from a white privilege card. Then the rest of it I've changed. It says, check your privilege because you are either a female, a non-binary X-sexual, a gender fluid person, politically left of center, live in North America, or, and I've left like a blank to fill in, which for some people that were from Australia, I filled in cunt because I thought that was funny.
So is this not marketing though?
It's not.
I understand the card, but it's marketing. Honestly, you have your cell phone number on it.
No, my cell phone number is not on it, but my website is, just because I didn't feel like
marketing.
No. I put my website on there because I didn't want people to think that it was like a white supremacist thing. I wanted people to understand that I honestly just wanted, like, if you have a problem with this card, it'll be a conversation.
Gotcha.
Like, you can come to me, you can talk to me. It's a conversation. Like, this is the person who put out this card.
Can we just talk about that perfection that is Vesuvius's comment?
Let me read it.
Crazy hair should infiltrate CNN with Project Vertias. Apparently she's
Veritas.
Places.
Apparently I'm good at sneaking into places, even though I honestly, you
didn't sneak in. That is one thing that I don't believe. Because Vernaculus is right there. Vernaculus asked us to go back and get his charger. He knew you were coming. You didn't sneak into the party.
Crazy hair is a spy meant to infiltrate
I honestly didn't realize how hardcore security was in that hotel, because I honestly, with my crazy double D cleavage, just walked up to the elevator, walked into the elevator with whoever was there, pressed the number 12 and went up to the 12th floor. Like I didn't do anything crazy.
That story is changing.
The story,
What?
When you
Because
originally said two people hit the button and then you just snuck in behind them.
Yeah, you were holding drinks in the first story, and the drinks.
First of all, nobody is stupid enough to be walking around with drinks. The tequila was in my purse.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right, that was the second version of the story that you said in your video.
What? No, I went into the and bring. You know what? Bring me my video. Bring me the part that like I said that, because I honestly I went. There were two people going into the elevator. I walked in behind them. I didn't think anything of it. I waited for them to scan their card and press their number because they were in the elevator first. Then I pressed the number 12, went up.
Thank you, Luke Robin. And it makes sense if the tequila was in your purse, you just walk. But originally you said you walked right behind them, and then now it's I pressed the button and just walked into the elevator.
No, I didn't press the call elevator button. I walked in, I asked somebody hey, where are the elevators? I walked to where the elevators were. I saw two people getting into the elevator, so I walked in after them and pressed the number 12 after they pressed their elevator number. That's it. No crazy James Bond shit. No music playing in the background.
I imagine a ski mask and backflips, and I will believe nothing else.
That's okay. That's your imagination to run wild with.
So then you went up and said hi?
I went up. I found room number 1212. I knocked on the door. I said hello. They invited me in. I told them I had gifts for them. I made them close their eyes. Not them, Blair and June. They closed their eyes. I told them not to peek. I gave them their salt shakers, their identical penis salt shakers. Blair sucked on her salt shaker to be lol, salty, because that was the joke. You guys can be on the other end of the earth, but you'll have identical penis salt shakers.
She regrets that.
I don't care. I don't care. I gave Greg one of my bobbleheads that I told him I've put this in storage. I no longer use it. I thought you would like it better because I no longer use anything. I'm a big fan of the robots of Star Wars, but I don't really keep anything else on my shelf. So I gave him Emperor Palpatine, and he told me that he really appreciated that. He was asking me questions about Prince Edward Island, how he became involved with YouTube. Everything was fine.
I don't use this anymore. Here you go.
What?
Hey, I don't use this. Haven't touched it in years. Here's your birthday present.
Well, I actually no, it was not Greg's birthday. I think it was June's birthday. But I told him this was sitting in storage. I no longer use it. I thought you might enjoy it. I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And some people might call it used. Some people might call it a collector's edition. I don't know. I don't follow this shit.
I do feel and then Adam, I don't know how you feel. I feel we're kind of talking in circles at this point, just about the same.
Oh, definitely. This is all stuff that's already out there. So
I don't.
It's. So I mean, it's interesting to me.
It is interesting to come from you.
I don't necessarily think there's anything as bad press. I think the election of Donald Trump has proved to me that you can do absolutely anything to gain attention. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. My inclination is it's kind of a bad thing because it incentivizes people to do weird and crazy shit just to get attention. So, but you'll probably be twice as big as my channel in 6 months, Naomi, and props.
I really don't want to be. I do not want to be.
I know. That's what you're supposed to say.
That's Adam.
That's the one thing that you're doing right. The one thing that you're doing right is saying, I don't.
I'm face palming so hard right now.
I know, but it's true.
I honestly
say that.
I don't want to be known by people who have these negative feelings about me. The only people that I want on my channel, commenting on my channel, are the people who have been so far, the people that are willing to have these deep, meaningful conversations about these issues, whether they agree with me or not.
Manipulation.
Do it.
Manipulation.
Manipulation.
It's just
subscribe, like this video.
Like somebody came on my somebody came on Twitter and to my email to John and John Green, they wrote like, "Oh, you're a liar. You were never a nerd fighter." So like I took a screen cap of like the nerd fighter group that I joined for Kiva, the lending group on the like Third World website.
Yeah, I've seen that.
In 2011, and I like posted that, and I was like, "Eat crow."
See,
like,
she's a good person. She can't be a stalker.
I've been a nerd fighter since before 2011, but the best evidence I have for it is like, here's an email from 2011 when I joined the nerd fighter group and started lending under their name. Like, whatever, like you can think what you want.
I do remember saying one thing at VidCon about how collaborations do matter, but I think the bottom line is to be able to produce algorithm-friendly content on a regular basis. So I'm really weary. I mean, I think, you know, a lot of people go to VidCon to network and stuff like that, and I do feel like you were doing that. And I feel like no matter what no matter, even if everybody hates you and thinks you're a total liar and thinks all this is untrue and you're being a manipulator, all that stuff, I don't think it really matters if you can produce good content. I think people will watch your content. So,
which is why, I really think, Adam, I'm not going back to VidCon.
Right. No, I've heard a lot of other people say, I've seen a lot of videos. It's funny that our kind of circle has said VidCon was such a transformative experience for them. And I'm watching other YouTubers that are saying VidCon kind of sucked. And I mean, I thought I had fun, but then again,
I had so much fun until Friday, which is why I spent half of my video like that I posted talking about how great VidCon was for me and how thankful I am for all the conversations I had. But I'm not going back. It's just not like when I don't know your emotional state, so I'm not going to assume your emotional state. But as a person who has debilitating anxiety, who has depression, like I can't afford to expose
I have normal
myself
anxiety.
that kind of
like you're.
I can't afford
to
expose myself to
anxiety thing because there's a purpose to debilitating anxiety. It's to prevent you from doing dumb things like going up to a room where you don't know anyone. So I mean, obviously the anxiety wasn't debilitating enough, right?
It was. I had a bunch to drink before that, and I was under the impression
liquid courage. You had the liquid courage
and also I was under the impression that because I was rooming with somebody that was friends with these people, that these people were as kind and nice as the person I was rooming with.
Wasn't even up there though. Vernaculus, he didn't even go up there.
No, he didn't go up there. No. And that's why I went up to him.
He has real anxiety that prevents him from getting in situations that he probably shouldn't.
He doesn't have anxiety. He's just a very introverted person.
Like, I have awful anxiety. I couldn't have gone to that party if I wanted to.
Totally. I wasn't going up there. I've heard people talking about, people were talking about, well, when's Blair White going to come down? Isn't Blair White supposed to come down? I was like,
it's her party.
Okay.
Yeah, it was her party, which is why I brought all of those presents thinking like this would be the perfect time to give it all to them.
Manipulator.
And yeah, I guess
now you're doing my joke.
Now we're doing the
This is the problem that I have, because like if you've worked in sales or anything, there is kind of an aspect of manipulation to it. That I mean, manipulation is a dirty word for it, but I mean, it is what it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to say
I hate that. Adam, here's the thing about sales, and I used to be in charge of a marketing department.
Somehow I imagined that you were, because this is like you're the salesman's dream. If I ever get a car lot, I am calling you immediately.
Because you better not, because here's the problem. Here's the problem with me working sales is that I tell my boss, if I don't like your product, I'm telling people I don't like your product.
Yeah, but the product you were selling at VidCon was you, which you've got to like.
No, it wasn't.
When you run a YouTube channel, you are selling you are selling to people why they should watch your content above others or with others because you are the most entertaining.
I wasn't selling my content to anyone. Honestly, even when I had conversations with, Adam, stop interrupting me.
I'm sorry. I'm bad. That's bad.
And even when I had conversations with incredibly regressive people that were on panels that I just got in to watch for the sake of watching, and I still have like the list of all the panels that I was intending on attending and all the panels that I attended. Even when I talked to them, like I saw them in the creator area and I was like, hey, can we sit down and have a conversation? They were like, yeah, no problem. Let's talk. And we went to one of the networking rooms and we sat down about like my issues with their content, and they talked about their issues with my perspective. Even then, we were having a conversation, like we were having an exchange of ideas over what they agreed with, what I agreed with, where I was coming from, where they were coming from. And for me, that's what VidCon was about. It was about hearing where they were coming from, them hearing from where I was coming from, and us finding a place in the middle. It's the reason that Lindsay from Queer Kid Stuff and I are still communicating. It's the reason that I and Sam
I am sad that I missed that picture.
Like
you bumped into her right after me, right after I left.
I did, yeah. And that's the thing.
I thought
those are the kinds of conversations we need to be having. Like, here's somebody that I disagree with on the basic level. What can I do to understand where they're coming from and perhaps approach their perspective from a different way in order to sway them a little or for them to sway me a little bit?
The only problem that I have with this, and I agree with what you're saying here, is that you don't do it in their private hotel room. You just don't.
I couldn't have done that. Like I could not have gone up there. And then I have a question for you, Naomi, about the stream. When something I saw that seemed a bit manipulative was when you were telling your side of the story, you said you knocked on the door and some guy answered the door. And then June and Blair both said that Blair opened the door and you froze. And there was about 3 seconds of silence, and then you just continued the story. Like, you didn't acknowledge that.
As far as I remember, and you do have to remember, I was tipsy at the time. As far as I remember,
I saw she was drunk.
As far as I remember, June's boyfriend, no, sorry, not Blair's boyfriend is the one that opened the door.
All right, well, if Blair and June can both be drunk, how do they, both as drunk as you, do they also remember Blair opening the door?
Because
that's 3 drunk and 2 to 1.
on and I'm not saying this vindicates me, but on Joe's stream, both Blair and her boyfriend say that they were the ones to open the door.
So did they both open the door?
I don't know. As far as I remember, and keep in mind, I was tipsy, Blair's boyfriend is the one that opened the door. And I don't remember this exactly.
This doesn't matter, though. What is it? None of this matters. Who opens the door is kind of immaterial, right?
It does, but I wanted to see, like, I'm not accusing you of anything, but if it was like, if you're listening to a story and you catch someone on a lie, the story begins to fall apart. So I didn't know if you were lying or being truthful, so I wanted to check.
And I've said from the beginning.
Witness testimony is the worst. Ever.
I've said this from the beginning, though. I've said this from the beginning. I was tipsy. As far as I remember, Blair's boyfriend opened the door.
All right.
And then I was invited inside, and then I distributed birthday shots, which they drank. So if I'm a crazy stalker person, they wouldn't have had them because they would have thought they were getting roofied. And, like, I distributed gifts, which they took.
they all thought that you were a good friend of one of them. They just, the miscommunication was they all thought that you belonged there.
Yeah. June and
I honestly, like, I
were
honestly, I don't know what was in their hearts or in their head, but as far as I was concerned, and you have to look at it from like, I've been to a lot of conferences. You go up to a room where a bunch of like people are, you like, you bring them something.
A bunch of congressmen and hookers and
congressmen and hookers. Wow. Wow.
You go up there with your birthday shots. You know, come on.
I don't know.
This is grifting 101.
I went up there thinking like, oh, somebody has a birthday up there. I brought birthday shots. Somebody like, I brought a bunch of gifts to the people that are there.
Your birthday shot.
Like, that's it. Like, it was completely like, from where I'm sitting, to me, it's amazing that I even have to explain this, but I understand why I have to explain this, because people are like, I understand now that people are like confused as to why somebody would do that, because for me, it's like, oh, somebody's going up and being friendly. And even when I've talked to other YouTubers that I'm not going to name here because they haven't given me permission to name them, like, this is a common thing that happens at parties. Like, hotel rooms, you go up to the hotel room, you say hi, you hang out, you leave. Like, that's it. I was only up there for like 10 minutes max.
The thing is that you left and you made a big deal about it. That's what the problem is. I mean, if you would have gone up there and left and just left, then
let's examine that statement. Let's examine that statement. If I had left, what?
You went up there and talked with them, and they thought you were supposed to be there, and then they asked you to leave, and you did. And then the problem isn't that. I don't think anyone would have cared if you were just some fan that came up and said hi and then left. But the problem became a big deal when you went downstairs and you were crying and you were freaking out and saying they were awful to you and threw you out of the room. I think that's where the problem begins.
I honestly, like, up until the point that I left the room, yes, I was upset that Blair's boyfriend tried to spray me in the face with cologne. I was upset with the fact that I had to actually physically avoid him about it. But once I left, like, if I had walked out of that room and been like, okay, whatever, like, I walked downstairs, like, it's over. But once I had left the room and heard them all saying those horrible things about me, and that went on for
a private conversation.
But listen, let me finish the sentence.
You're disrespecting their privacy.
Let me finish the sentence. Adam, let me finish the sentence. That's okay if that's your opinion. Once I walked outside and I heard them like go on for like 6 minutes about all these things about me.
Gone for 2
and
hours
of course and yeah, they could have wanted to go on for 2 hours, but I went downstairs and I was very upset. And I went to the one person who I thought could justify like this behavior to me, not thinking that they would go upstairs, not thinking that they would try to like talk to them, not thinking that Greg would try to fight them, not thinking like that anything would happen. Like, I went to them thinking like they could explain this to me. and then like everything exploding into this giant thing, which then was aired out online instead of them coming to me like the quote-unquote skeptic community is famous for being like, oh, I'm going to talk to the people that I have a problem with. Like, that's...
Once again, you dropped the video that started the madness. So you did... You started every bit of the madness because you left the room and
Adam,
you left the room and you didn't let it go. So
you're misunderstanding the purpose of my channel.
Am I wrong though?
Yes, you're wrong, because the purpose of my channel, I don't care if other people are on YouTube to get famous.
This isn't about your channel.
Yeah, it is about my channel because my channel is for me. It's an outlet for me to get my feelings and thoughts out there. And so if I have feelings and thoughts that I need to put out there and I record them and I put them out on YouTube, like, that's what my outlet is for. I don't make money on my channel. I don't monetize my channel. I have no interest in monetizing my channel.
You did. It doesn't change my argument though. It really doesn't, because you dropped the video and that that started the reaction. So, I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying. You're saying that I had every right to put the video out. And I agree with you. You did have every right to put the video out. But that video caused a reaction that they wouldn't have had the Blair White stream had you not made the video. I don't know that it's a bad thing that they had the Blair White stream, because you know, obviously you don't care about how big your channel is, but I think it's interesting that your channel is getting bigger over this.
Oh,
so
I really wish that, like, because honestly, like, half of the people, I think, and this is completely a theory,
they're hate watchers.
Yes, exactly. And I don't want them. I don't want them, because I only want people on my channel that are willing to have the kind of conversations that I want to have.
I agree. I agree. You can only max out at a certain point with hate watchers. It's about, I think, 4,500 subscribers, because that's about where the Christy Winners click ends up being. So there's 4,500 people out there that are hate watchers because they're going to make videos about you.
And then Naomi, I'm just gonna give you a piece of advice. If your channel is like an outlet for your feelings, if you don't want people that are gonna be negative and be mean to you, make a new channel. For the love of God, make a new channel, new identity.
No, I disagree with that. Like, if she, like, the problem with the Christy Winners clique is they put out fucking crap content that nobody wants to watch. They just want to make fun of. That's where they fall in the ecosystem. Like, if Christy Winners turned her shit around and started putting out great content, people would watch it. All people want is great content. It's that easy. Everyone went silent on me.
Sorry.
Like, honestly, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to start a new channel just because, like, this is the channel that I have. And maybe it comes from, like, I have a history of being bullied on the playground. Like, I'm not going to let this kind of behavior scare me into, like, some kind of a mole like den. Like, it's just not going to happen. And if people want to sit here, like, yelling my name is Jeff at me all day, that's fine. Like, do that. Like, if that makes you happy, you fucking do you, bro. Like, you do you, boo. Just like Anna Kasparian says, like, you do you, boo. But, like, it's just hard to call it straight up.
It's hard to call it straight up bullying, though. It really is.
It's it's not bullying. I'm saying that I have a history of people bullying me. So I'm not susceptible to this bullshit. I'm not saying this is bullying. This is definitely not bullying. Right. Bullying needs to be for me, and I'm not discrediting anybody else's feelings or thoughts or experiences, but for me, bullying needs to be in person in order for it to be bullying. Like, it needs to be constant, it needs to be personal, it needs to be day-to-day grind type, like, exclusion and name calling and stuff like that. But this isn't bullying.
We all experience bullying. Everyone.
This here, what I'm experiencing right now, this is not bullying. This is not Anita Sarkeesian going to the UN, like, people are calling me mean names, like, bullying. This is just a bunch of people with very strong convictions telling me about their very strong convictions. And that's, you know, like, they're free to do that because the internet is a free marketplace of ideas. But in the same note, I'm free to continue putting out content that I enjoy putting out. So, for example, I do have a video coming out about the new market bubble that's happening in North America. And that's, like, the video that I'm super, like, passionate about putting out right now because it's a topic that is very interesting to me. Is anybody else, like, going to come on there and be like, this is bullshit, tell us more about X? Sure. Do I give a shit? No. Are they paying me? No. That's my response.
We've been going for quite a while. Do you guys want to?
How long has it been? An hour?
Over an hour.
Yeah, we can cut it off. I would want to cut Naomi off if she has stuff that she feels like she still wants to say.
Yeah, that's fine. If y'all wanted to stop going. Because I feel like we went around the world, then we went around Mars, then we came back by the moon.
That's a good analogy. I like that. Yeah, you can take us offline. We can keep talking offline.
All right. I just wanted to see anybody have any closing thoughts? Anything anyone wants to say?
I feel like I've said everything that I need to say in regards to my internet existence.
Yeah, don't start a new channel. Make good content. This is all. I'm with Chris. All this is gonna blow over. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Whatever, it's over. Like, these people have shown their true colors, and that's it.
Oh my god.
Actually, yeah, keep your channel, see what goes on. And I did get a notification. Apparently, it's my Twitter anniversary. Shut up, phone. I don't care. But
yeah, like this video, subscribe, come back. It'll be fun.
I gained 2 subscribers in the course of this stream.
Yay!
Nice.
Congratulations.
All right, so I'm gonna have
None
you
of
guys
it
on.
matters. We don't care about subscribers though. We're better than that.
Adam does. Adam does. I don't.
Yeah, I believe in being an honest human being, so that's where I stand.
I care about subscribers. I enjoy them.
I resent you calling me a non-honest human being.
But if
because
you're like,
I honestly don't give a shit.
I think that you're being honest. I think that you're lying to yourself, really. I think that's more in tune of what's going on. I don't think you're lying to other people. I think you're just lying to yourself.
Before you take us offline, I feel like I need to say this.
already?
Like 100% from whoever's listening, like, listen to me. If I wake up tomorrow and there are 10 or 12,000 people subscribed to my channel, I will take your advice. I will fucking like open a new channel. I'll be like, fuck this shit. I don't want this volume of people listening to me. I'm starting.
It's a pity that we can't. It's a pity that we can't test that, because I really think that's not true.
I'm just trying to get to 1,000 so I can open super chats.
Yeah.
Is that what you need in order to open super chat? I didn't even know.
1,000.
Yeah, 1,000.
So
see,
I know, because I'm always trying to get people to subscribe to Politipod, because I go on there every once in a while. So
I already don't fucking know anything about life.
Craig says delete the recording.
Who said that?
Craig.
It's not gonna. I'm sorry, Craig. It's not gonna fucking happen. I'm keeping it.
Naomi, I have one question for you.
Yeah.
When we go off air, can I hear this recording?
Do the comment.
No, because I don't trust you to not record it yourself. No.
I wouldn't. But I understand.
But if you ever come to Prince Edward Island, I will play it for you. Knowing
I'm not
knowing that I know that you're not recording it, and like I'll let you hear it, but I can't trust anybody to not like create a secondary recording of it, so I'm not going to do it.
Hold up here. I'm not recording.
I can't trust you. I like you. You seem pretty cool, but I can't trust you.
Don't trust anyone, okay? No
I
one.
trust you, Adam, so shut the fuck up,
don't
okay?
trust anyone. Me least of all. Are you kidding me?
I'm bad at this, okay?
I know you are. You're terrible. So let's end it there. What do you say?
Yeah, thanks everyone.
I'll stay on the line just so we can say goodbye. Hey, thanks for making the chat super interesting. Vesuvius, I'm going to hire you to write jokes for me, because you're fucking hilarious.
You need what?
Vesuvius is cracking me up. So, all right, take care, everyone.
Dude, please stick around. I'm not Vesuvius. Please subscribe. I want you around all the time. All right, thanks everyone for watching. I hope to have you guys back on sometime soon so we can talk more. You guys have both been very interesting. Hopefully I can talk to you both separately and not about this, for God's sakes.
Yep.
Thanks everyone for watching. Have a good one.